What is the biggest mistake athletes are making during the 40-yard dash? With the NFL Combine just finishing up, a lot of athletes are about to go into spring camps for scouting and running 40 times. The biggest mistake is not physically going out and actually running the distance. You can't just show up to a combine and expect to run a sub 4.540 when you haven't sprinted more than 20 yards in the past 6 months. If that, with the football offseason duration, then you're probably just in the weight room lifting heavy weights and getting slower. And second, stop thinking everyone can remotely run a sub 4.540. The stopwatch nonsense is such a lie. Far too often, they just want your money and to come back next year. Spend hundreds of dollars to stand around for far too long with way too many other athletes just to get 1 to 2 chances at running any of the tests in front of some potential college offers, which is not always the case, but sadly enough, far too often than it should be. Kylo, stop. This past NFL Combine had some crazy numbers put down from several athletes in varying positions, and even some of the big guys were flying. But those athletes, those dudes, aren't 15 to 16 years old. Xavier Worthy was 20 when he set the record. And trust me, those few extra years of playing and development is monumental in actually shaving down faster 40 times on an actual laser that's legitimate and counts. And finally, when they're at the combine, they don't just show up and run. All of the top prospects, if not most of them nowadays, spends months with an actual sports performance coach working on their start, their first step, their dry phase, and their top end speed. It's why if you pay close attention, they all have a ritual during their setup. And technique-wise, they're all pretty dialed in. They almost look like track athletes. The takeaway from all of this is if you're an athlete with the camp coming up and you're about to put down or do some 40 times, you need to actually go out months ahead of time and sprint the distance. Work on your setup, work on your technique, pay attention to what you're doing, sprint the distance. Programming it just like you would with your weightlifting, multiple times a week. Here's a base template, use it. And if this video gets enough attention, I'll crank out a few more videos on actual technique breakdown those NFL guys are getting, but mine will be free. Like the video, comment, share, follow the page, and I'll get them out in a day or two.